I've got to plug in my guitar, that's why. Fucking hell. Turn up.
Whatever you want.
Oh shit, did I fuck it?
Mate.
29 Gold Stars didn't have its pop blues swagger until much later in the creative process. Originally it was actually quite slow, dark and heavy and almost sounded a bit like Black Sabbath. I finished the demo, I listened to it probably twice and then that was it, I threw it away. About a year later it popped up on my iPhone in shuffle mode and with fresh ears I was able to hear where the magic was, like what was working for it and what was working against it. The magic was in the words, the melody, the structure, the execution was the problem, which is a great position to be in because if you got the bones of the song right, then the rest of the shit can be dealt with. And one day I'm walking down the street and it just popped into my head, just this simple beat, this and I pulled out my iPhone and I'm like, shame on my fingers, shame on my lips, I couldn't help the shame traveling to my hips. And then everything was clear because I could hear this simple urban beat, I could hear the dusty bass sound, I could hear that little feet phasery clean guitar, I could hear the screaming wah solo, I could hear an understated, just cool and understated vocals. And in the chorus, almost like how Drop It Like It's Hot with Pharrell and Snoop, how their little tagline is followed by these synths that just kind of pop out on top of this understated track. I wanted to do the similar thing in my own way, just to emphasize that hook line, but instead I sort of did it with horns and a fuzzy guitar sound, and it was just, I demoed it up in 2 hours and I was like, that's it. When I was tracking down a co-producer for the EP, 29 Gold Stars was one of the tracks that got producers that wouldn't normally co-produce excited and wanting to be involved in the project. In the end, I went with Tony Buchan, and one of the first things he said was,
the demo's dope. It's definitely one of those situations where I'm like, I don't see a need to fuck with it. I think the guitar tone's got, I like the bass as well in that very first demo with the reverb on it. It's so dope. Like, if you think you can quote-unquote better it, then go ahead, by all means. But, you know, you could send me that with some live drums and some tweaks and some fixed vocals and bits and pieces, and I would mix the shit out of that.
So now I'm like, nah, I can't. Like, this is my record. I want to take the time to pull the sounds that are in my head. You know, I just rushed that demo. And, you know, I went to town. I went to work with Richie B at Fed, and we experimented and we pulled some sick sounds. And some a little unorthodox.
That's what I want. That's that shit sound. It's a musical mosquito. That's mad.
And you know what? In the end, I was never meant to overcome demo love. A lot of the tracks we ended up going back to the demo, and not because they sounded better, but because of the vibe. I'm so happy with how it turned out. Like, I've been wanting to release this out in the wild for ages. I love me a good, deep, emotive piece, but fuck, it's fun to roll around the gutter sometimes.
Shame on the reruns. Shame on your monkey shit. I gave her my back instead. I gave her my tummy.